The Tony Award-winning musical Hamilton is now open its doors at the Belk Theater and runs through February the 2nd, and we are very pleased to be joined by Broadway star Neil Haskell. Neil, you're currently in New York City for Death Becomes Her, starring Megan Hilty and Jennifer Samard. But before you were on Death Becomes Her, you were a big part of this Hamilton story and the Hamilton musical that has won so many Tony Awards. You were part of the original cast on Broadway, and then you toured as the King, King George. What was it like to see this thing blow up into what it is today?
I mean, it was amazing. You never expect a Broadway show to be able to enter the zeitgeist of the world and have everybody talk about it, because you just think you're doing another theater piece, you're doing a Broadway show, and you think Broadway fans will love this show, but it ended up becoming something bigger than I think any of us could have expected. I got to be in the ensemble when it first opened, and then, like you said, I got to play King George on tour for 4 or 5 years, which was absolutely incredible. And it's just amazing to see that the show still has an incredible life and is still telling this incredible story and is still touching people's hearts and making people laugh and cry and want to sing along.
What was it like to kind of get to peek a little bit into his creativity of putting this piece together on Broadway and then having it live so long throughout the country?
It was amazing. When we were in rehearsals for the Broadway production of this before it opened, Lin also obviously starred in the show, but at the same time he was still tweaking the writing and doing all that sort of stuff. So he was like changing hats all the time in rehearsal. He would go from your cast member at one point, and then all of a sudden he'd be like, wait, we're changing this line here, and he would be editing the writing. And there was an incredible alternate to play Hamilton at the time, so he would step in during rehearsals. And so Lin would be able to see the show from the outside in rehearsal and then step in and try it himself. And he was just doing all that sort of stuff. And he's just an incredible creative genius. He's incredible to work with.
One of the most memorable pieces of the musical Hamilton is, of course, the role of the King. It is a comedic role, and one role that you did so well for so many years on tour. What was it like to kind of make that role your own while at the same time keeping that comedic piece of it involved?
Doing it on the road, I got to live in the role for many years and let it grow and build, and got to play with a lot of like the different comedic moments. He's kind of like a clown of a role, but he also like is singing about some really serious things. So you just have that little juxtaposition of being able to play with like finding fear and scaring the audience while also making them so uncomfortable that they have to laugh about it.
Tyler Fauntleroy plays Alexander Hamilton here in the version that is in Charlotte at the Belk Theater through February the 2nd. You have the opportunity to also tour with Tyler. What was it like for you guys to go from city to city and see the reaction from people that saw the show for the first time, as well as the same people that maybe it was their 7th or 8th time seeing the musical?
It was amazing touring with Tyler. He's an incredible artist, incredible actor. He plays Hamilton so uniquely, and I just loved his portrayal of it. And actually, when he first joined the tour that I was on, he was playing John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton, Alexander's son. And it's just kind of amazing to see how he's grown from playing that into playing the father of the character that he started playing. The set itself is just, it looks so simple, but everything on it is so choreographed and intricate. And you have the turntable spinning, and you have little tiny spike marks where you have to like put the prop or the table down or the chair down in that exact location, because when the turntable stops spinning in 45 seconds, that table has to line up exactly on the center of the stage or right on this angle so that scene and the lights in the next scene can hit it.
You played the king. You are now back in New York. You are back on Broadway in New York with a different show, Death Becomes Her, starring Megan Hilty as well as Jennifer Samard. You play in the ensemble here in this musical. What can fans expect from Death Becomes Her, something that is right now taking Broadway by storm? We just saw Beyonce watching the show herself. So what can people expect from this show?
Michelle Williams is also starring in the show from Destiny's Child. I mean, all the leads of the show are just all so incredible. The voices, the acting, everything. The show is based on the film Death Becomes Her, that starred Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn. And if you have seen the movie or if you haven't, there's so many moments in the show that just take what the movie did and I think personally elevate it and take it to a place that you just want to keep coming and seeing over and over and over again. The show is so funny. The choreography is incredible. The set is gorgeous. It's just a really, really funny night at the theater.
You've had a great career. It's continuing in such high levels. It's going to continue for many, many years. Through all of it, who has been your inspiration, your foundation, your steady rock that has kept you going to know that you can achieve the dream that you are living?
I'd say my family. Everybody in my family is super supportive. I mean, we all just push each other to keep succeeding, keep moving forward, keep pushing the limits. And, as you know, my family's very loving, and it's good to have them as supporters.
Well, we're all very, very proud of you, Neil. And I personally can't wait to get to New York to watch Death Becomes Her. And you've done so well with Hamilton, not just on Broadway, but also on tour. Again, Neil Haskell, currently on Broadway with Death Becomes Her, starring Megan Hilty and Jennifer Samard, formerly King George, on tour for Hamilton, and of course, one of the original cast members of the Tony Award-winning musical Hamilton. Neil, I'll say this for you. Go Bills.
Go Bills.